JP Morosi is about to put you in a good mood. He always does. Our first inside corner of the season. Good morning to you. Happy opening day, my friend.
Happy opening day to you as well, Lauren. I've been sitting here actually waiting for 4 months for our first conversation. And your first great question of the year, and I anticipate it's probably going to come here in a moment.
My first great question. That's a lot of pressure. I was just going to ask you what your opening day and weekend is like. It's not that great.
Well, so here's the preview, Lauren.
Okay.
Here in the Midwest, as you know, I run the MLB Network Midwest Bureau here in the great state of Michigan. And with our showcase game scheduled this weekend, some home games for me. How about this? Very Midwestern. We're getting in the car. So our first showcase game is tomorrow. I drive to Cincinnati. Then to get to our day game on Saturday, I stop in Terre Haute, Indiana. On my way to St. Louis, I go back to Terre Haute. I stop in on the alma mater of Sean Manaea. I stop in Bloomington, the alma mater of Kyle Schwarber and Pat Minton. And then I go back to Ann Arbor. So it's a lot, 1,146 total miles in the car. I'll be socially distant at the ballpark, Lauren, but I will be there. We will have boots on the ground. They'll be my boots. And I can't wait to see some Midwest baseball. It's going to be a season of automobile travel for us here on MLB Network.
You are a very careful driver, and I love that about you. So safe travels. You talk about Midwest baseball. Jack Flaherty will be the Cardinals' opening day starter, and he will have an important message on the mound with him.
He will, Lauren, and I think it's a great initiative from Major League Baseball. After speaking a lot with the Players Alliance in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, we will see players wearing patches showing Black Lives Matter or United for Change during the course of opening day and the weekend. And also on the mound, behind the pitcher's mound there, stenciled in St. Louis, either United for Change or BLM. And Jack Flaherty spoke about why that is so important to him and the movement.
With everything throughout the world, is unity is something that we all want. And unity is something that we're trying to bring together with everybody. And, you know, starting in the clubhouse, trying to get everybody together, get everybody on the same page and just understand what's going on, understanding, you know, where certain guys are coming from or, you know, what is trying to be accomplished. So any way that we can bring everybody together, you know, having one voice or, you know, having one person speak and do this and that is great. But if everybody's on the same page and if you can't get everybody unified, then what are you really accomplishing? You know, and it starts with the person next to you, and it starts with, you know, having conversations and being able to be open, be understanding, and, you know, just be willing to have conversation.
And Jack Flaherty really thanked Dexter Fowler, Lauren, for a tremendous perspective that Dexter has offered on the right thoughts, actions, and really items to move forward and help overall. And Cameron Maben, I thought last night, had a great special that Harold hosted on MLB Tonight about the conversation. And Cameron Maben said, really, we're looking now for allies around the game. And I think that what's happening in baseball today and this weekend shows just how many allies there truly are.
And JP, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, I'm sure you're in a similar place as me in the sense that you're constantly searching on your timeline for positive news, right? And Dan O'Bard, away from the game for 7 years and then coming back, is at the top of that list. For our viewers who don't know his story, will you tell us?
Lauren, it really is incredible. His last appearance in the major leagues was April of 2013. He tried for years to really get the yips. He had some throwing issues there and get that under control and really master that performance anxiety. And he talked about how long the struggle was. He had tried different arm angles. And then he shared with me when I asked him last week what finally made him give this one more shot.
Where did the idea come from, Daniel, just to give this one more shot?
I was completely done, moved on from my playing career. You know, I was coaching with the Diamondbacks, and I was playing catch with guys as just a way to connect with them and get to know them, and it felt different.
How do you define this being a successful endeavor, the comeback attempt to pitch here in 2020?
I mean, if you asked me, you know, 5 months ago, my answer would have been something like, you know, just to get on a mound and compete against, you know, pro hitters. For some reason, everything's kind of gone better than I could have planned. And, you know, I'm just really thankful for the opportunity.
Lauren, it really is amazing. And Daniel shared with me that by speaking with Diamondbacks players who were going through whether it's performance anxiety or just overall mental health issues, that it helped him by talking with them in a way almost counsel himself and work through the issues he had just throwing the ball from the mound. So he just talked about how good he feels now and how that therapy that he was helping others with helped himself in that way too. So he said really that the conversation around mental health overall in the game has improved so much in the last 10 years. So just an incredible story, Lauren. A lot of Daniel Bard fans right now around the game and around the country today.
I would imagine so, and I am one of those fans. We've been saying all morning how not having the game has made us appreciate it more, and I can't imagine what he feels right now. JP, you are good at many things. You speak a bazillion languages. However, you know where I'm going with this. You're terrible at framing Zoom calls, I just learned from that little montage.
Yes, sorry about that. My mistake.
Predictions. What do you got for us this year? So we can play it back in a couple months' time and see how wrong you were.
Sure. Lauren, we actually marked the time in my receding hairline by the number of times I predicted the Mariners to make the playoffs. I think we have probably 6 or 7 conversations that you and I have had alone on that one. So the Mariners, unfortunately, or rather fortunately for the fans in Seattle, I will not pick them this year to make the playoffs. But I do have a few semi-bold predictions. I believe the White Sox come back, and there you go, as I'm thinking about things at the GM meetings. I've got the D-backs and the White Sox in the playoffs as wild card teams. The Reds and the Phillies. I am trusting our colleague Joe Girardi to get the Phillies back to the postseason, win that division for the first time since 2011. Dodgers over the Indians in the World Series. The Reds, I love that lineup. Castellanos, Moustakas. And I'll say this, Lauren. I'm so confident in Philadelphia winning the division this year that if our colleague Joe Girardi does not get that team back to the dance, I'll run the Rocky Steps in a Joe Girardi jersey. I am 100% sure the Phillies get there. Bryce Harper wins the MVP. Aaron Nola, he'll be in the Cy Young conversation. The Phillies are back in the playoffs this year.
Our floor crew is looking at all those predictions and shaking their head. Give me an X. What do we think? They don't agree with you at all.
Deserved. There you go, deserved. As it always is.
We'll run it back, make money. That's
so
what we
much
do
fun,
here on
Lauren.
Central. Behind your back. JP Morosi on the inside corner. You're amazing.